Hello, it's your boys. They're back in the room. How are y'all doing? It's me, Eric. Now, all of a sudden, deciding the host, and I am joined by my brother Chris.
Hello.
Yes, we are back. Just the two of us. Adam, unfortunately, could not make it this particular day. But if you are aware of who we are, you know that we talk about all sorts of different media topics, movies and video games and music and so on and so forth. That's what. And if you're new, welcome to the channel. All right. If you enjoy what you see, hit the like button, ring the notification bell, and smash that subscribe because every single one is super exciting to see. I do actually enjoy seeing when someone's commented or someone has subscribed. It's great. All right. So please do that sort of stuff. Leave a comment as well if you have any opinions on what we're going to be talking about, which is today we're going to be talking about the new Resident Evil International trailer that was released during the week. And we're definitely going to be talking about that gameplay overview of Elden Ring. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I gotta say, I love that intro.
Thank you very
use
much.
that intro more often.
I mean, sure, if the committee is happy with it.
Go to the committee, and hopefully Adam will feel better soon. He's under the weather.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, as I said, we're going to be talking about Resident Evil. So, yeah, how did you think of it, Chris? Actually, because I think you brought it to my attention first.
Yeah. So there was. Yeah, I think it's called the Nightmare trailer that they released kind of during the week. And it's only like a minute long. And then I found out that there was also an international trailer that was released the same time as the original trailer that we saw and spoke about last week. Which is like it's a full-length trailer, but it's very different in tone to the other trailer.
Yes,
it's more in tone with this 1 minute Nightmare trailer. It's more like this one.
Okay.
Which like I have to say, like, don't get me wrong, I don't like this trailer didn't like change the fact that the CGI still doesn't look good. The actors are still not actors I would have personally picked. I am worried about the script and overall tone of this movie in general. However, if you just got to get objective, I think this is a better trailer than the other trailer in terms of presenting a horror movie.
Yeah, I remember with the last trailer, we did get a comment saying that we were very brutal.
And you know what? And I was actually glad that
someone said that. Yeah. I was like that. Like, yeah, that was nice. That was nice to hear. Like, but yeah, sometimes we are brutal, and other times we're very generous. This trailer was definitely much. Like, I only saw the 1 minute one. I didn't get to see the full length international one. I only saw the 1 minute one. But that was a way better edited trailer. And it doesn't have the "Hey Yeah" song in it. Which is a blessing. And Lisa Trevor, looked actually pretty scary.
I think we said that about the last one, didn't we? We were like, of all the creatures or whatever they're showing, it's like we didn't get enough of a look at Lisa Trevor. We were like, but she could be scariest monster or the coolest monster in this. And now seeing her a bit more, yeah, she looks really creepy.
Good, well done. Because it looks like they use, maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like they're using prosthetics for her. I could be wrong there.
Yeah,
but I think
man, can you imagine if you're walking up to like a little tent in the corner of your bedroom and you lift a sheet and that's what's sitting in there?
Man, I'd be scared the minute I enter my room and see a little tent in the corner of my room. I didn't put it there.
Oh, who the fuck?
Who's been in my room?
Yeah.
How did they get in there? Get that in there.
And there's that scene where you see her where she's like, it's almost like she's a contortionist.
Yeah, she contorts her whole arms around her head thing.
That looked very like the way she moves in the game.
Yes. Well, again, the only way I only remember seeing her from mainly the Umbrella Chronicles on the Wii.
Right, which is like a retelling.
Yeah, she didn't really contort her body that much, but just the kind of hunchback way and her hands handcuffed. I think I met her very early on in the HD remaster of Resident Evil 1.
Right.
where I was very
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why? What the hell's going on here? Why is she so early in the game? But yeah, still kind of moves around the handcuffs. Very creepy girl.
She is way scarier to me than the tyrant. Like,
Mm.
a tyrant is a menacing force for sure. Like in real life, yeah, of course, I would hate for a tyrant to come after me. But in the context of the games, I always feel like the tyrant just looks like a boss. So it's like, okay, it's time to fight.
Mm.
Lisa Trevor is like the spider lady from The Evil Within.
Yeah.
She's just creepy in her very design. And I do not want to fight her.
Yeah, because
at all.
Mr. X and Nemesis are terrifying in their presence. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't, I like, oh god, or even in their music, but not their design. Mr. X looks like a big, tall guy in a coat and a jacket.
It's
like,
more the challenge that comes with them is the scary part. It's the god, like I know these guys are bulletproof.
Yeah,
so I can't fight these guys. Whereas Lisa Trevor is like
bulletproof
she looks vulnerable, but also she's just terrifying. She's just scary.
And probably is bulletproof. Like Spider Lady was bulletproof and looked terrifying and sounded terrifying, and the whole aspect. Like, gosh, she was terrifying.
Did this trailer make you want to go see it?
No. Oh no, they'd still. I'll watch it on Netflix. Maybe have the lads over, a few drinks, pizza, and like laugh at the movie.
Right. Okay.
that's what it is for me.
Do you think there's any chance that it could surprise us?
Oh yeah, of course. There's a chance that it could. Sure, Aquaman surprised us. That was good, and that looked like garbage.
Yeah. That's a good point.
You know, there are some Guardians of the Galaxy that look good. Well, that was good fun. That was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Put a one of those top tier Marvel movies. So yeah.
And sometimes you get a movie that looks great and then you go see it and it's not great.
Yeah. See, it's just one of those things where it's just it's a video game movie.
Yeah.
And we have now learned this year that even if the director sounds like they know what they're talking about, it doesn't mean they're going to deliver on what they're talking about.
You're referring to the Mortal Kombat one.
I'm referring to the Mortal Kombat. Oh my god, the Mortal Kombat.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because that was another thing that I saw. It wasn't released last week, but it was actually when the first trailer came out. But I only saw it during the week, which was that the director does have a commentary on YouTube. It is worth watching for anyone who's in any way interested or just curious about this film. Or even like, do you remember last week we were like, don't even know who's directing this, like,
right? Yeah.
So you get to listen to him break down the trailer,
okay,
and talk about the different elements and what he included and all that stuff. Very like the guy who directed Mortal Kombat, where you're like, I mean, on paper, yeah, the guy sounds like he knows exactly what he's talking about. Like, he's obviously a fan of the series. There's even, I didn't notice, but in the original trailer where the projector is on the screen, it's the Ashford twins are on screen at the time. So he recreated the cutscene from Code Veronica, and he said that actually he used a bit of the cutscene, like the actual PlayStation 1 cutscene is actually in the movie. He like snuck it in because it looked so shoddy and kind of grainy anyway. He just put it in there. So there's a part of the game actually in the movie. And so you hear things like that, or, you know, when you get to the bit where it's like itchy tasty on the wall, and he, you know, points out the diary entry from the first Resident Evil as to why he's using that, and you're like, okay, so it all sounds good. But of course, then you look at the like.
But then they're going to have Arcana and stuff in the movie, and you're going to be like, what the fuck, like,
what's going on here? Yeah, they'll try and explain the green herbs.
Yeah,
they'll use that as the main plot point instead of just realizing that it's like, no, that's just a game mechanic. You don't need to explain the game mechanic.
Hold on. Yeah, well, yes, you don't need to explain the green herbs and stuff like that.
No.
I mean, you don't even need them in it. You could have first aid sprays.
Do you think there will be?
Someone gets I mean, that'd be nice. Like if someone gets a burn or something, to use a first aid spray as to sort of carterize the wound or something like that'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be cool. But like in fairness, the T-virus did come from a plant. So they could actually have the green herb design in like an like umbrella facility. As like there's the green herb, but it does the T-virus thing. They could.
with all those little details that are like showing up now, like in the trailers, and just the sound of like the director talking about how much he's trying to include. Do you think that they will include the line Jill sandwich?
See, on the mindset of how I'm wanting to view this movie, I hope they do, because it would be hilarious.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think it's in it. I think the Jill sandwich line is gotta be in this movie. I really do.
That'd be great. That'd be so
And maybe
funny.
someone shouting Leon help or something like that. I don't know. I mean, that's such an easy line to put in there.
Yeah. Although I think I saw another joke where I think the director wants to do Resident Evil 4 next. Or at least Resident Evil 4 is on the radar to be made next as a movie. One or the other.
Oh boy. I mean, because like, yeah, you get I haven't heard that before, so that's new to me. But like,
maybe it could be only a rumor. Like, I mean,
two things going in my head there. No, I mean, in one way, it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this first Resident Evil movie is like covering the events of sort of Raccoon City,
3, Code Veronica, it only makes sense. You have to go for 4.
Well,
next.
actually, I'm just wondering if there's teases to Code Veronica and Claire is the main character here, and Leon might be the kind of secondary main character, depending on how it plays out. Might they do Code Veronica next, right? And then the events of Resi 4.
Oh, it'd actually be focusing more on Claire and Leon being the main characters of this trilogy or whatever.
Sure, yeah. Or, and this is a worse idea. So if anyone's listening to this, don't do this. Or they try combine the events of Code Veronica and Resi 4 and Resi 5 as the next. Don't do that. Do not do that.
Don't do that. No, that won't work.
It's a bad idea. Do not do it.
The Ashford twins are in Spain, who've been experimenting on everyone.
Yeah, don't do that.
Under the rule of Wesker. Wesker is the Ashford twins.
So Tom Hopper is playing Wesker, right? Is he going to go bad in this movie?
That'd be nice. You gotta have a human villain.
Yeah, but then your man William Birkin's in it, right? I imagine he's the main villain of this one.
You gotta have an actor who can play the villain.
Right. Poor, what's his name? Neil McDonough?
I think so. Yeah.
He shows up in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he does.
He does a lot of TV shows. Wasn't he one of the villains in Arrow?
Yeah. He was Damien Dark.
He was. He was
also in the first the first Captain America movie.
Was he?
I think he was. I think he was part of the team. Maybe I'm wrong. I apologize if I'm wrong. I think he was.
Oh my god. I don't remember him in that, but then I can't remember everyone in that particular movie.
Barely remember the movie.
Yeah. I remember laser guns.
Yes.
And that annoyed me.
And Bucky fell off a train into water.
That was the kind of important part, because then the rest of the Captain America movies were awesome and they all surrounded Bucky, really. So yeah, that's all you needed to know, really. But yeah, better trailer.
Better trailer. It's actually a pity that it was short, but then there is the fuller length international one. But yeah, no, it's a good, much more better edited trailer, better sounds, less of the hey yeah. It's great.
This is why I do get worried, though. I know poor Adam is not here to like fight his corner here, but I know he's really excited for the Metal Gear Solid movie. Because of the director, and because the director seems to love it and know what he's talking about. And I'm like, okay, well, here's 2 instances of directors who sound like they really know and love the source material, in both the guy who made Mortal Kombat and now the guy who's making this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, but when you actually see the quality of the films, it's like, no, it could be great. Oscar Isaacs is attached to play Solid Snake. He's a great actor.
He's a fantastic actor.
So that already is like, that's good. And I don't know a lot of movies that the director made.
It's not a bad choice for actually.
Yeah, it's not.
It might be a bit too old, but not a bad choice.
No, and I haven't seen all this director's movies, but Kong Skull Island,
like visually
is a bunch of fun,
shot.
and it's a well-made movie. It's not
Yeah.
a bad, like, it's not a bad film. It's a it's competently made movie. So with those things aside, it's like, okay, yeah, it could be great.
Yeah.
But just given the Uncharted trailer, and again, everyone attached to that talks about how they love the franchise and they know it in and out, and they're using all these references. With this one, again, the director talks about how he loves the franchise, how he got so much into it, how he's following it so closely. Mortal Kombat was the same thing. I still get worried because I've yet to see a video game adaptation movie that follows the game but is also a good movie.
Yeah. Like you said before, and you said it many times every time we mention these, just treat them like books. Just treat them like books.
But also make them well.
Well, yeah, but like yeah, obviously what I'm assuming what you meant by it was stop taking, shit from the other ones and putting them in, or stop like twisting it and changing it and stuff. Like only tweak what will fit the narrative of the story. Much like if you take Lord of the Rings, Aragorn has a completely different sword up until the third one. But in the books, he has broken Andriel. And then when he leaves, or Narsil, and then when he leaves Rivendell in Fellowship, he's leaving with Andriel.
Right.
And he's going.
They were thinking about, well, in the movies, this
is his story.
Have a more dramatic effect if we save that till the last movie.
Yeah. And he's like in the books, he's going specifically to become the king of Gondor. But in a movie, you need essentially a better story arc. The story arc of him becoming king after not wanting to be is just so much better motivation.
Oh, Lord,
that nearly everything else that's ever dealt with a character becoming king has done that. I mean, Aquaman does it. He doesn't want to become king, and then he becomes king at the end.
Lord of the Rings should be the blueprint for everything. It's like, what did Lord of the Rings do? Okay, let's take that approach to making our movie.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Anyway, that is our thoughts on Resident Evil trailer, the international trailer. The shorter one, the Nightmare trailer. So, without further ado, let's get on to the much anticipated game. I think it was voted most anticipated game of the year, wasn't it? Last year?
Yeah. The hype for Elden Ring
is huge.
It's off the charts.
Massive.
Like, I think people are probably already like, this is the game of the year next year.
Yeah. No, people are already like, I'm buying this.
It's this.
I saw a horse. It's amazing. I'm buying it.
It's this and God of War, isn't it? These are the two biggest games. Like, and I'm talking on not from a personal standpoint, but like the wider gaming world. These are the two titans next year.
Yes, Elden Ring and God of War. But we didn't really see much more gameplay for God of War, so we're not talking about that. We released a 20-minute gameplay overview, essentially, for Elden Ring. So what did you think of it? Because you're not a Dark Souls fan. You're not you're not a From Software fan because you haven't really played any of their games. So
yeah, no, I'm generally not. But I can 100% appreciate them. So I'm not someone because I don't want anyone to think like that I just bash these games just because I don't enjoy the gameplay loop. And I won't lie, and it does come from, it's like people probably say, oh, you just suck at them. Yeah, I do. I am shit at these games, and as a result, I don't enjoy them. I don't find them fun. I don't find the loop fun, and I don't find the like constant customization to better yourself or improve yourself. I don't find that engaging. But the world is always fascinating to me. The creature designs, I mean, From Software designs some of the coolest monsters and bosses. They always have. You have to give them that. No one can take that away from them. They make amazing, scary, horrible looking bosses. And I think this game is no exception. And just based on it, I was looking at it the whole way through, and I was going, this looks like it could be From Software's best game. I could be wrong. Maybe other people will feel differently, especially those who have actually played a lot of the From Software games. But I was like, the world looks stunning. those big trees just look straight out of
Lord of the
like
Rings.
the Lord of the Rings or some like just these amazing medieval fantasies. The graphics look great. The performance looks great. If this was more of an action RPG,
Yes.
this would be a day one purchase for me based on what I saw.
Ooh,
I would buy
okay.
this no problem. It is just the gameplay that's going to stop me.
It's just
And
when
I mean the gameplay, I mean the combat. There's nothing wrong with the traversal to me. There's nothing wrong with how the graphics look. Cosmetics all look cool. Like you can make yourself look so different. And what I was saying earlier on about like constantly changing or like constantly customizing. I don't know how close it is, but I was playing the like trial version of that Final Fantasy Stranger Paradise.
Right. Yes.
Right? Which is supposed to be like a Soulsborne-esque gameplay.
Yeah.
Every few seconds, I was changing what I'm wearing.
Right. Dark Souls.
I was like, I spent more time on a menu than I did actually playing it. I was like, this is so boring. How can anyone enjoy constantly? It's like new boots, I'll put them on. New gloves, I'll put them on. A new headband, I'll put it on. New fucking sword, I better equip that.
They're not like that.
Oh my god, it was it's like fucking hell. Like how much stuff are you going to collect over the scope of this game? Like it felt like not like in that context, it felt like nothing was earned.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like if you got to the end of a dungeon and then found a chest and it had a pretty cool weapon in it.
Yeah.
And you cleared that dungeon and got a cool weapon for it.
Yeah.
So now you want to go find another dungeon and do that kind of thing. Because these are kind of dungeon crawler games.
Yeah.
But in that, it was like every time you turn a corner, you get a chest. You know what I mean? It was like, fuck me. This is ridiculous.
In from software games, it's more like, oh, thank fuck I found an item. Sure. And then it's like, oh, a new shield. That's awesome. And it turns out the shield that they just gave you is worse than the shield you already have. So it becomes a game of survival.
Yeah.
Now, I'd imagine this game might be a bit different as it's a huge open world traversal game in that you probably will get a lot of items and weapons and stuff. But I imagine they'll still stay quite true. Like if you want to make the game really easy for yourself, you pick the knight character, the character with all the heavy armor and stuff.
Yeah.
And then as you would go down the list, you'd probably pick one of the weaker characters with like no armor. Or you can go like in the middle or something like that. That's kind of how they do it. But like, just because you chose a particular class that might have really good armor, that means all the armor and weapons you're probably going to get for the first like hour or two are going to be all from the other classes. So they're actually worse. Right. So you have to try and prove yourself in the other way. While if you go at the very bottom, everything you're going to get is going to be better than what you have.
Okay. Yeah, I guess
that's how they kind of did. So it's not going to be, well, at least I would hope it's not going to be every 5 seconds.
No, I'm sure it's not. Look, it's not fair for me to compare the works of a totally different studio with this studio. But I remember just playing that. I was like, oh my god, if this is what these games are like, this drives me crazy. No. But no, I get it. I remember when you were over with Demon Souls, and I played a bit of that. And I know that was a remake by Bluepoint, but it is a very faithful remake. It is following the actual gameplay of the original. Stunning, absolutely amazing, incredible.
Yeah,
game. I can't fault it.
I honestly do. I would be in agreement with you, even though I've played them more than you. I do wish that they were just action adventure RPG games. Because sometimes I would just love to be able to play and explore and just be fine with it, because they are they have so much to offer. Even though most of them are quite linear, there's always that like one little path that goes off, and you could end up finding a hidden boss, like it's a completely different boss. You're like, I didn't know this was here, and you find a whole new area, and it's got all these secrets and all these items, and you're like, well, all right then, cool. Even though it's off the beaten path, so sometimes I do wish it was just a nice little Skyrim or adventure game.
Yeah, because I suppose I kind of wish, because the bosses look so cool, I kind of wish that my feelings going in would be like, fuck yeah, a boss fight. Which, there are some like hardcore gamers who like they do feel that way because they're like,
Yes.
fuck yeah for the challenge. But my feeling is like, oh no, a boss fight.
But
And
that's
that's, you know,
what they're actually wanting, because they're horror games.
right.
They're fantasy horror games. You know that feeling of dread you have when walking down a dark hallway in like Resident Evil 2 or something?
Sure.
That could be the feeling you could have playing these games. They are horror games,
Yeah. No,
which
that
is
makes
one thing I
sense.
really like, because it's this dark fantasy. It's there's nothing hopeful about it. Everyone fucking losing their minds left, right, and center. But in saying that, going back to Elden Ring, because that's what we're supposed to be talking about, I love that you can bypass the enemies. One of the
Yeah.
first things they show is you riding, and it's just this caravan
Mm-hmm.
of all these enemies, and a big like carriage cage thing being brought by these two ogre looking or giant things.
And they're dragging it with the fucking chain sticking through them.
Yes, sticking through the
See,
chest.
that's the shit I like. The designs
that's
are
awesome.
fucking awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you're just riding on this horse and stuff. It's like, that's great. And then just the boss that comes in randomly, just this
The
giant
dragon?
I was just like, fucking, that's
I was
cool.
like, that is the coolest dragon sequence I have seen since Take a Shot Skyrim.
Yeah.
But it is like,
Yeah, that was. I actually kind of took, holy fuck. I'm watching on my phone. I was like, holy fuck, because it just came boof, out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
yeah, yeah.
Crashed into the ground. That was awesome. And the magic looks class in it. Some of the spells you can have in it just look so helpful.
And it looks like, and I know this isn't new to this game because I do believe there was, you would know better, there was stealth in Sekiro, right?
Yeah.
So there's like stealth play in this one.
It looks like there's a lot of mixture from everything in this.
It does. It looks like they're kind of
blending everything together. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you call that? There's a name on that where it's like, this is like your grand,
your magnum opus.
Yeah, like so far, like this is the best of what they've done so far. Their greatest hits, I suppose.
Yeah,
all in one game. You know, the kind
Yeah.
of world of, say, a Dark Souls with gameplay elements and also designs from, say, Bloodborne and gameplay elements of Sekiro, and like it just looks like a bit of everything.
Yeah, looks cool. I don't know why I really love the horse.
At one point, I was trying to figure out. I was like, "Is it a horse?" Just because of like the horns. I was like, "Is it a horse with horns or is it a fucking bull?" Because you can only ever see the back of it. Like,
yeah,
I came to the conclusion it's a horse with horns.
I thought it was a horse, but it had like a mask thing with horns on it.
That makes more sense. Although, no, fuck you. There's ogres pulling a chariot with fucking chains through their chests. Like anything is possible. It could be anything.
Yeah, that's true. And the whole jumping up then it could have been a fucking giant goat. Because obviously I know it's the spring of wind or something.
Yeah.
But the way it jumps up,
it looks cool.
Of a goat. Yeah, it does look cool.
And it looks like a really polished game. I will say I thought the narrator was a bit boring.
Right. Well, not very enthused.
Yeah, and I was like what you're showing is actually awesome. So
why are you not excited?
Yeah, it's like, and here we just have a little bit of gameplay. You know, it was very like, he was very like chill about what like other people are like crazy for.
Yeah.
And it could have done with a little bit of I don't know who are really, you know, like some of the guys at Xbox, they're really good at hyping their shit up. Like, even if it's not good, they're just so good at going, right? What did you think of that? You know?
He should have been like, there was more rad to be had. Like,
there was a lot of rad to be had in the Elden Ring gameplay loop.
Yeah. Like, even the choice of, like, you know, you go into the castle, just the walls alone was so cool. So, look, reminded me of kind of Cure Ungle. And you just go into a side part and it's like, oh, you could go that way, or you could go through the main gate. And if you're a psycho, you go, no, I want to go through the main gate and die instantly. Or you go, yes, thank you very much, and you go the side way and everything. But the fact that there is multiple ways now to tackle these places.
I thought the voice acting as well was
better.
Really good. I thought it was pretty good. Like the people you're talking to her.
Yeah, it's closer to like the likes of Demon Souls by Bluepoint. Like actual voice acting, and the mouths actually now move.
Yeah. Because
it took Bloodborne it took From Software possibly up until Sekiro to get the mouths moving. I can't even remember if the mouths move in Sekiro.
Right.
Because Bloodborne, their mouths don't move. Dark Souls 3, their mouths don't move. Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, their mouths never move when they're talking.
But I thought it was of a high quality.
Oh yeah. No,
every time
yeah.
someone was speaking. I thought it was
Yeah,
really like good as well as everything else looking of high
yeah,
quality.
yeah.
Um,
It looked cool.
yeah, it's like I was like, this looks great. Anyone who's a From Software fan, I
Losing their shit.
I can't imagine anyone looking at this going, ah, that's shit. you know, other than the fact that yes, the
Adam.
gameplay might not be for you. No, but I mean, it looks stunning though. I actually am curious. Is it a day one purchase for you?
Probably not.
Oh, how come?
I think I need to take a slight break from games that are gonna. Well, first of all, at the moment, I have no time to
I mean, it's
play
not coming
games.
until next year.
That's true. But who knows what happens in next year?
Yeah.
But also, I think I need to take a slight break from games that are going to make me die every 5 seconds.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
I suppose.
I'll need to see more. I need to see more, and then I'll judge.
All right. Okay. Would
Or
it
I'll
be
just
on your radar though at all? Like, so for example, like for me, I'm not getting it,
oh
and
no,
that's knowing that it looks great, it looks stunning. I expect it to get nominated for awards. I wouldn't even be fighting with that possibility. It's just knowing that the gameplay is not for me, that I won't be able to enjoy it in terms of I want to explore that world and it's not going to let me. That's what's going to happen with me. So I know it's not a purchase for me. But I'm
uh,
just wondering, is it even like on your purchase radar at all?
yeah, no, it would be on my purchase radar. Like I'll probably be like, oh look, it's birthday or Christmas. Can I get that? You know,
Sure.
but it wouldn't be day one purchase because there might be other things I have to play or do.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
But I know it wouldn't be completely off my radar because it looks fucking brilliant, and I would love to. Not at the moment die every 5 seconds, but I'm sure at some point I'd be like, yes, punish me.
There was something in it that I don't know enough about that you probably know more about, which was they were talking about like the online play part.
Always been there.
That's been there since Dark Souls 3, right?
That's been there since Dark Souls 1, I do believe.
Oh, I didn't know it went that far back. How does
Yeah.
apart from the cooperative element though, because they mentioned other things.
Yeah, player versus player. That's always been there as well. That's
Right.
a bitch. That's an
Yeah.
absolute bitch.
Now,
That's annoying.
that would annoy the fuck out of me. Can you turn that off?
Yes. I believe so. Yeah.
So
See,
it is optional.
yeah, online is quite helpful in that players can leave for you messages that can kind of give you a hand. It's like, oh, look, an enemy around the corner, or chest ahead, or illusionary wall, or something. Because I think they have demonstrated that in Elden Ring. They hit like a player showed a wall, they hit it and disappeared. That's in pretty much all of them. I actually don't know if it's in Sekiro, but it's definitely in all of them where you hit a wall and it shows a new area, probably leads to a chest or some larger map. Um, but the online can be really helpful when you summon allies to help you with boss fights, but it can be piss fucking annoying when it's like Dark Phantom appeared and that's obviously someone who wanted to fight you. It's kind of like, you know what, just kill me, get it over with, and then I'll just fucking get on with this when I die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They're nearly always way better at the game than you, so you're just always.
And did it just like is the incentive there just to show up and piss you off?
Yeah.
I suppose I just don't get it from like I don't get it as an option even in a game that's already so challenging and punishing.
I don't
To
get
add
it.
to add what is essentially a trolling option
Mechanic. Yeah.
as opposed to the cooperative thing makes a lot of sense to me. That like, if someone say like me who wants to experience the world but just finds it so difficult, is just not as responsive with games like this. That's like, oh, maybe someone who is good at it could like help me through it and we could like experience it together. And that could be a lot of fun. So the cooperative thing makes sense. Where it's like, okay, do you want to partner up with a buddy or like go on a D&D quest together within this? Because they're very D&D inspired. Even like
all of them are. So many fantasies are.
yeah.
Yeah.
To add the element of like, oh, you can go in and fuck someone else's game up on them.
Yeah. Now, see, the thing about them is
to
they do have slight restrictions in that it's usually only in some areas where it happens.
Oh, okay.
And even if they showed up, you could bolt out of there, just get the fuck out of there. It's like, nope,
Oh yeah,
fuck
no,
off, or I just leave. Like,
yeah,
but yeah, no, I do understand. And sometimes some of the enemies that might appear, like let's say Dark Phantom, they might appear to do a 10 essentially fuck you up, and you'll get used to this in that their naming scheme. So if it says like Dark Phantom Beasts Hunter 69 or something like that, it's like, right, well, that's a player.
right.
But it has like Yondel the Great. It's like that could be a player or it might be a character. And those ones are slightly NPC like characters that might appear,
Right.
usually only appear online as well, are like they are possible to beat,
Okay.
and they actually are rewarding. They could actually give you new weapons and armor that you wouldn't be able to get if you didn't fight and beat them.
But can that happen while you're in the middle of like a quest?
Yes. Yes, it can.
You see,
Yes, it
yeah,
can.
that's annoying to me.
Yeah, no, because I remember I was playing Dark Souls 3 and I was doing the DLC to Ring City, which is a really hard DLC in my opinion. Really hard. It's ridiculous.
Right.
And I was going into a room that was already really hard. It was like a big spiral room that went downwards.
Yeah.
And it was already really ridiculously hard. And in the middle of me doing that, like a Dark Phantom, like a player showed up to try to fight me. And I was like, yes, it is really annoying. And I wish they didn't have it in it. I wish the multiplayer was only cooperative.
It was the one thing that, like, everything that he named out during the preview, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, wow, that's really cool. And like part of me inside was jealous. It's like, I wish I could fucking play this. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool as well. But that was the one bit where it's like, and don't forget, we have online play, including cooperative and invasion mode. And I was like, that's not good. That's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Invasion mode is a bad. Well, that's personal bias. Maybe people out there love the invasion mode.
Oh, yeah, no, it's because when I was playing Dark Souls 3, there was one particular map, a swamp map, right? It was a large swamp area. And it was when there's covenants in Dark Souls 3. Now, I learned after a while, if you get rid of these covenants, this thing won't happen all the time. But it kept happening to me a lot. And I was like, why does this keep happening? This is so annoying, because I'd be in the middle doing something and then it's being dragged to another world. And I was like, why does that keep happening? Until I figured out, I'm supposed to take away covenant. But what happened is I get dragged to the same area, but in a new world, where it would be me and like a team of other people, and then like a team of other people, and we'd have like a battle thing. But I would just kind of die straight away and then just get on with my quest because that's what I wanted to do. But like that's a thing as well. But in saying that, because there's cooperative play, I could always just give you a hand. Like, me, you, and Adam could actually all join together and go on the quest. It's not as common as they make it out.
Yeah, right. I get you.
It wouldn't be that common. It is annoying, but it's not that common.
Right. I mean, look, I'm going to keep an eye on it. It could be a fun one. The thing is that it's not just that I find it hard. I find the combat in those games not fun.
Okay.
It's not actually fun combat. Regardless of the difficulty level. It's boring. Blocking, parrying, attacking. I just wish it was faster, more fluid, and more fun. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
But
well,
that's
this
a personal preference.
This one looks like that with a lot of the kind of swirls and stuff they were doing.
I will say the animations look great, and also the particle effects on the magic shown throughout. Holy diver! Like the red lightning, like the big boss on like the giant golden horse thing.
Yes.
And there was just fucking red lightning everywhere.
Yeah.
That lightning looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And that had me thinking a couple of things. Not only that, it's like, okay, so the effects in this particular game look great, but also just had me thinking about particle effects and magic effects in the next generation of consoles, full stop. I was like, these are all the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's only going to be this game on its own. It's like, if this is how good magic is going to look in the future. When you get to a point where you think, right, graphics can't get any better. I've seen No, I'm not saying that Elden Ring had the best graphics I've ever seen.
But they can improve in ways you didn't think about.
Yeah. And also then, yeah, you just get to a point where you think, I've seen the best now. But then you're like, oh, wait, there's going to be a whole other generation. At some point, you're going to come back. Like, at one point, The Last of Us was just the best graphics ever. It was like, you can't beat this. That's lifelike. Look at that. I go back now and I'm like, it's a bit hazy, actually. It's, still great for its time, but,
Yeah.
you know, and then I played The Last of Us Part 2 and I was like, oh, no, that's it. That's it. Done. Dusted. And something will probably come out next year where I go, holy shit, Ellie looks crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, no, that'll never happen. It'll
Yeah.
never look bad, but it could get to a point where it's like, oh, now this looks a little dated.
Oh no, yeah, it's going to get to a point. We've always said it that it's going to get to a point where it's going to get so lifelike that it's going to actually just be real people that you control. But I actually think it's going to get so good that we're going to look at it, the screen, like playing the game, like, wow, this looks amazing. And then look at just reality and go, huh, reality's graphics look shit.
Right. That will games look better than the real world.
Yeah.
Everything will be so perfect in a game. Oh my god. The metaverse.
The Matrix.
The Matrix. Enter it. Enter the Matrix.
Oh, imagine that remade. Anyway, yeah, Elden Ring looks great.
I am curious as well with Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, just from looking at it, is there a need for this to be its own thing? Or could this have been like Dark Souls 4?
Yeah, it seems like it could have been Dark Souls 4.
I'm just curious, like maybe other people out there are like, no, like there's something so different about this and its identity, but I didn't see anything that's like, it's still a dark medieval fantasy style game.
Yeah, and like Dark Souls is always set at the end of the world, right? It's always, well, I'm not too sure with Dark Souls 2, but Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3 is always the end of the world, and you're either going to prevent that from happening or not, or do something else or whatever, right? That's usually when it's set. So it's when civilization has collapsed and everyone has become undead and all so on and so forth. And it's always in a specific kingdom or specific land, right?
Yeah.
So there is nothing for it to say that this is a different land at a different time. The world is not ending. It's somewhat prosperous, but this is a cursed land. You know what I mean? Like, just this kingdom has fallen into disarray and darkness. And again, the dragons look quite similar. They have this wyvern-like dragon design that's quite similar. They have undead knights going around. So yeah, no, and like the weird kingly chaps and stuff like that. There isn't really much in this that says that this couldn't just be another land that practices in a different kind of magic and it's set during it.
Yeah. I just get the sense that this is the beginning of a new franchise. Like I think there could be an Elden Ring 2 and an Elden Ring 3 down the line, right?
Probably.
I just have a feeling. And with that in mind, given that they have the opportunity to do a new IP, which is great if they're coming up with new stories and stuff, I'm just wondering, are they doing enough with it, though, to differentiate it? And not only in, like, the designs, which all look fantastic, and, if that's what the identity of From Software games is, then that's what it is. I do just wonder in the gameplay, and I don't mean making it easy, because they have their thing and that's their thing. I do just wonder, is there something that they could have added to it, or something that they could have done a little bit different that differentiates the Elden Ring identity from their previous works? I'm starting to wonder, outside of just like writing and new designs, Elden Ring looks amazing and it looks like a mix of all of their soups, but is it too safe?
Could be. I'm thinking if they really wanted to go different, an interesting way they could have went in making the game hard would actually be, and to include again the campfire idea and stuff like that, because I know they have the You go over and you hit the yoke and it's boop, and it has the out of the
The
grace
Grace,
pot.
wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
It looked like something out of Ghost of Tsushima. It looked beautiful.
Yeah, but it also looks like, the bonfire animation. It is actually
All right, yeah,
it's actually the bonfire animation from Dark Souls 3.
right. I mean, they're obviously reusing assets and stuff from their previous. Yeah,
I think an interesting idea they could have done, because it's open world and you're in this land, is to play on a survival tactic. So the game is hard more so rather than just the enemies are really hard, but more so in like you're looking after many things.
right. I get you. Like make it more of like a personal tactical RPG.
Yeah, that I think that would be an interesting way to differentiate it. Like, but you have to then worry about your hunger and your stamina and your fatigue and stuff like this. So therefore, you have to light campfires at particular safe spots and sit there and eat food and stuff like that. And then you have to forage and stuff in this dying land full of monsters.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I suppose, like, in bringing this up, I'm not trying to take away from the fact that this looks like a solid game.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't want anyone thinking otherwise. I am just at this point, I suppose, with how many games they have made and different IPs, that with the opportunity to do something a little bit different, it's like, I just wonder, why didn't they? And
no.
Is it a possible shame that they didn't, or is everyone just like, no, I want what I want what they've done before, and that's it? So
although there could be people who are such huge fans who are, if they hear this, think themselves, what are you talking about? It is completely different. How do you not see that it's different?
Right. What's different about it other than the different setting?
Well, you ride a horse, a horned horse, a bull, a goat, whatever the hell this thing is.
Yeah, and that is cool. That is cool.
So you have that. It's an open world. They've never done open world ever.
Okay. Hold on. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, they've never done open world.
Sorry, I thought Sekiro and Bloodborne were open world games.
No. They're linear games.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's something new that I didn't realize. So that actually is no. I thought that, and again, I haven't played Sekiro or Bloodborne, so I'm only going off like gameplay that I've seen from people. But I thought they were, particularly Sekiro. I thought, because I know that there's a giant like snake that's fucking amazing looking, and I've seen that go around and stuff, and I was like, oh, it must be a huge open world.
No, that's a linear path.
Okay.
Now, again, you might be in an open area and go around multiple ways that could lead you down different paths, but they have open areas, not open world.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay then, because then the big flex, then knowing that, the big flex in the preview was the map.
Oh, the map was huge.
Holy shit,
actually, yes. And the fact that you have to get like fragments to like put the map together, that's a really cool idea. It does look like, I think someone actually, I did see in the comments, someone did compare, it was like Dark Souls and Breath of the Wild slapped together. And it's like, yeah, you know what? It is like those two put together.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, it's like if Legend of Zelda became 18s.
Right, yeah. Because I mean, the Legend of Zelda games aren't easy.
Oh, Christ, no.
Either. Like, they're not very forgiving games either. Like, they're quite difficult.
Yeah, they fucking are.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They're tough. But yeah.
I wonder as well, would anyone ever like a From Software game where your protagonist is voice acted? Or would that take away from the magic of the experience? Wow, I should do my research.
You should do.
In Sekiro, is the character voice acted?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, there's cinematics and he's voice acted and everything. Yeah.
Oh.
And he has a name, he has a title, which is also something that Sekiro is really different to what they've done.
I should shut the fuck up then. Sekiro then is they did something different. And that won Game of the Year, right?
Yep.
That year. It did.
Yeah.
This one is a strong contender, I'd say, for next year.
Probably.
Like, it'll probably will. Maybe it's too soon to say, maybe something else I'm really surprised, but it probably will come down between this and God of War.
Yeah. They're also the woman that comes to you who looks like she's going to be your level up because in Bloodborne,
kind of like your guide, right? Like she sounded like she plays that role.
So like in Bloodborne, you have someone you go to at your safe spots who will level you up.
Hmm.
Dark Souls, you have the same. You go to your safe spot and you level up with someone. And then they had someone in Demon Souls that you go to and levels you up. It's always a woman. Always a woman that's kind of your caretaker. I think this could be one of the few times, or one of the first times maybe, that they gave the woman an actual eye.
Oh, really? They usually don't have eyes?
I usually don't know. I think Bloodborne, the doll has the eyes turned backwards.
Do they always do something weird with the eyes in reference to, say, like the oracles of Greek mythology, or?
I think so, because in Demon Souls, she has wax covering her eyes. Candle wax.
That's
and
cool.
Then in
see, their designs are so cool. Like.
And then in Dark Souls, they put on like a helmet thing or a visor thing. Because by seeing dark, they have this concept with to do with eyes. I think it is to come from the old mythology of souls are kept within the eyes or something.
Right. Oh yeah. That
so
makes sense.
By sacrificing their, especially in the Dark Souls and Demon Souls, by getting rid of their eyes, by sacrificing their eyes, they can perceive more or something. Okay. They can pluck them without having to be tempted by them or something like that. But yeah, their designs and reasons for their designs are so cool.
Do we know the plot of Elden Ring yet?
No.
It's probably out there somewhere.
Probably.
So, someone let us know. Well, if you've been following this closely, let us know.
Is there ever a plot?
I don't know.
There is. There's
no point asking me. I didn't even know. I don't know anything.
No, there always is a plot. I don't know what the plot for this one is.
Yeah.
George R. R. Martin's involved, so there's probably some titties in there.
That's what that means. I'm sure he wrote lots of lore and background and history and that
probably,
kind of stuff. But I imagine that was all of his involvement, though.
I feel like he added in the trees. Being a huge Lord of the Rings fan, he added those trees. Because every time I saw those trees, I was like, "Oh, the Silmarillion."
Yeah. No, I would say that he wrote like the history and lore of the world, and then they took that and worked. And
I find that's very weird
that he would do that. I'm pretty sure I saw in an interview actually that's exactly what he said his involvement was, because he was asked. I think he was asked about it, and he was like, "Oh, I haven't worked on that game for the last 2 years." He was like, "I wrote my part, and they're doing the rest." I think, but it looks good.
the thing I'm more confused about is why did they bother?
Get George R. R. Martin?
Get anyone. They can write stories and lore themselves. It's littered through it. Every single piece of item you pick up and pretty much littered in all their dialogue. The only reason I would have seen getting someone like George R. R. Martin to write the lore for a world is if it was going to actually be a cinematic storytelling game where things are actually going to be explained. Because obviously from software never explains anything.
Maybe this one will be. Maybe this will be we were kind of saying, like where you were saying Sekiro does have actually like more of a traditional storytelling kind of layout in terms of cinematics and stuff. Maybe you will reach certain checkpoints and there will be certain stories, but it's just that you have a freedom of choice as to when you go about them. Yeah. Maybe this game really is a combination of everything they've done before. And in terms of giving the world a very rich history, maybe they just wanted someone who has experience in writing histories and politics and all that stuff for an entire world. Yeah, maybe they were inspired by the works of George R. R. Martin for this particular game. And maybe they were like, why don't we just ask him if he wants to work on it? You know, stuff like that does happen. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. I love the guy with the many arms.
Yeah,
just cool. It's so unnecessarily has many arms, but you don't fuck it. It's got many hands. It's like grand, unless it's to do with greed. Could be because he does say he's part of like the Golden Throne or Golden Order.
He does.
Maybe it's the kind of symbology of greed.
Yeah,
but, yeah. The fact you can summon souls to help you. That was good. Yeah, I love the spells.
That was cool. That was cool as well. That was cool mechanic.
Yeah, the spells are great, and the animations are great. Looks like a great game. 10 out of 10. Game of the year.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. It probably will be. Let us do let us know what you thought of Elden Ring. Actually, put that in the comments. I do enjoy reading those comments, even if you are saying no, you're wrong and just stupid. Chris, Chris, do your research.
Yeah, tell me, like, yeah, bring it on. Definitely.
Yeah. That's good stuff. So what was the other thing then that you sent it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So during the week as well, there was an official, it's not a trailer. I think it's the
No.
opening cinematic.
Yeah, so like
And that's of,
we had Resident Evil, the Resident Evil trailer, then we have the huge, massive Elden Ring gameplay, which I don't even think, like, there's probably so much more to break down into that.
oh yeah, there's a
But
lot.
then,
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes long, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, yeah, it's huge.
But
we
then
get
there was
this-
also during the week, there was, and this might not be on as many people's radar, to be honest,
no,
but
it's
it
not
was
really on
the
mine.
opening cinematic for Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier.
Yes,
which is
iOS
sort of,
and Android game.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about mobile gaming a lot here.
No, not really. Well, unless it's Infinity Blade.
Yeah. There was a while where it was like, yeah, Infinity Blade. They should bring that.
I would fucking love if they gave Blue Point permission to remake Infinity Blade, because if that would have to be done like Dark Souls style. I know, obviously,
To be fair, it would. No, to be fair,
it was that style like that.
Yeah.
I get that heartbeat. That'd be so good. But yeah,
Somebody out there for Eric, and this week is Eric's birthday.
yeah. Next time you guys see me, I'll be 25.
Yeah, so for Eric, somebody, Blue Point, we're
Please.
talking to you directly. Please,
Yes, please.
remake Infinity Blade for Eric.
Infinity Blade 1,
he might
2,
be
and
the
3.
only customer. No, of course people would buy it if, like, even if they've
Yeah.
never played the original, a new game by Blue Point, like,
And it'd be like Dark Souls. People love those style games. So yeah,
do it, man.
yeah, it'd be awesome. Anyway,
Yeah,
Final Fantasy 7, First Soldier, iOS and Android, opening cinematic. What do you think of it?
I thought that the music was cool,
Music was cool. Yeah.
but I mean, you can't really go wrong there. The soundtrack to Final Fantasy VII in any variation, remake, original, Crisis Core, Before Crisis, whatever, the music is always great. So the visuals looked cool, but I don't pay a lot of close attention to these kind of opening cinematics, which will look nothing like the actual.
Yeah.
game.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, oh wow, that looks cool, but I know I can't do that if I play the game. That's not the game. That's not the game. Like, you're doing this kind of like opening cinematic, awesome trailer showing these main characters. Like, but I know those characters don't exist.
Yeah,
they're not in it. This is a battle royale game, which I won't get because I don't like battle royales. I think they're, for me personally, I think they're all the same. You play one, you've played them all. You played it once, you've played it 100 times. It's never going to change. I know obviously people can argue, but there's the updates, the new maps and the new weapons and the new costumes and stuff. It's just like, yeah, but it's just not for me, I suppose. That just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
Or that's not enough to appeal to me to make me want to play the game and endure dying every 5 seconds. At least with Dark Souls or Demon Souls or whatever, you can level up and you can get past it and you can get further to somewhere else. But anyway, the one thing that intrigues me about it, I mean, the music was awesome for it, but from the opening cinematic trailer, it obviously shows things. You can use guns, you can use swords, you can use magic.
Yeah.
Summons.
Yeah.
I think they did demonstrate that before, and that's an interesting thing to have in a battle royale, which is summoning a giant monster to fuck up your enemies and make it easier for yourself.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm thinking of giving it a go.
Are you? I know Adam pre-ordered it, didn't he?
Yeah, because I don't know if it's like a full purchase game or if it's going to be like
installments,
free to download with in-app purchases. So I'll double check that. But if you could try it out, well, I might as well try it out. I got the Backbone for my birthday. Anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's this controller that you connect to your iPhone, and there's obviously variations of that, not of the Backbone model in particular, but there are other controllers you can get for Android phones as well.
It's that one behind you, isn't it? That white box behind you with the kind of controller shape.
Yes, and anyone listening on audio platforms hasn't a clue, but yes, there's a box there right behind me. But yeah, so your phone ends up right in the middle. Your screen ends up in the middle, and then you have analogs. And I played Call of Duty Mobile on it, and it is great. And in reality, the reason I got it was purely for when Ever Crisis comes out next year, which is the one I'm way, way, way more excited about.
Yes.
And to be able to play that in that way, it'll be so fun. And I'm so intrigued by what to do with that. But in the meantime, because I have it, I'm like, why not give a game like this a go? If I had to use the touchpad on my phone, I would not enjoy this game.
No.
But with the backbone, because it's got like your left and right triggers and your analogs and all that stuff, I actually might enjoy a game like this.
Yeah. This
not
episode is sponsored by Backbone, by the way.
sponsored by Backbone. I don't think I'm gonna love it. I don't think this is a kind of game that's like I'm gonna pour hours into and I really care about like the story or anything like that. But it could be a game where it's like, oh, I'm on my lunch break. Oh, I'll play a round of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be just that, just a bit of fun. I'm not particularly into battle royales, but I am curious to see what to do with the magic and the summoning, like you said. I'm also curious if they will try and integrate a story in some sense in there. And if they do, what are they going to do with Sephiroth? I have a big question mark on that. I don't think you can make a game called Final Fantasy VII, the first soldier, and not include in some way, shape, or form Sephiroth.
They will. And you know how they will do it.
How will they do it? You turn into him? No. Like what I don't know how they'll do it. I really don't. What do you think? You fight him?
No.
What?
It's a cosmetic. Now you look like Sephiroth.
You
Now
think
you
that's
look
it?
like Zack. Now you look like Clyde. Yeah, it's a fucking battle royale. There's no story to this. It's a battle royale.
Maybe not, but if they're trying to expand on, if
Or
they're including this in the compilation, like remember before Crisis was just a mobile game, right? With its own strange little gameplay. That wouldn't be for everyone, or like you would be like, oh, that's like a silly, like on a digital card game or something like that.
Right. Yes.
But it played into the story. It talked about the origins of Avalanche. And it's canon. And it talked about how Rufus Shinra helped build Avalanche secretly.
Oh. That's
Not
cool.
like it's huge. It talks about where Avalanche was formed, which was in Cosmo Canyon. The original members of Avalanche who came from Wutai. That's in a little mobile game. So when you think about how connected Square Enix tried to be with the wider universe, I just wonder, are they going to obviously?
Well, then they're not going to include Sephiroth at all, because it's going to be about the first soldier. Sephiroth wasn't the first soldier, was he?
No. That's what I'm wondering though. Does it lead?
Oh, actually, I think
to Sephiroth.
Speaking of, we're talking about the story. We're talking about the cinematic. Hojo's Rise to Power was cool because they kind of slightly touched on that in it.
Yeah, but why show it? Do you get what I'm getting at?
Right.
Okay. It's one thing if it is just a battle royale, right? And obviously that is the gameplay, and that's whatever, and that could be just fun. Maybe why show in the opening cinematic of this game key moments in the history of Shinra?
Okay, maybe they do a thing where, like, you get a challenge, a weekly challenge, a daily challenge, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Complete a daily challenge and you unlock like a cosmetic item, like a Chocobo hat or something like that, right?
Sure.
Complete a weekly challenge and you get like a cinematic.
Maybe.
And it's done like that sort of still style, like the way they did for the opening cinematic.
Yeah.
It's done in stills, but it tells a story.
Yeah.
So maybe they might do something like that. That'd be nice.
I was thinking that they might. And now, again, in what way they deliver it, I'm not sure. Like, how do you earn it? Or how do you progress the story, so to speak, when it's obviously clearly like an online player versus player thing? But maybe it's a thing of like, maybe there's a certain story mode where you fight Wutai, or like a campaign mode. Or something like that, a career mode, so to speak, where you take on missions for and you just fight the AI and you're working for Shinra. I don't know, but it's like, why have this beefed up? Like, why isn't the opening cinematic not just people fighting each other in Fortnite style, so that you're like, cool, that's the energy of the game. Great, I'm going in for that. Like, why have any kind of story details at all?
But sure, Fortnite does that too.
Yeah, but that's the like. Okay, I haven't played nearly enough of Fortnite. I played moments of Fortnite, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Fortnite does storylines.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
In the form of big events and stuff, doesn't it? It does like, oh, like this month's event is like an alien invasion or whatever it is, right?
Right.
Or it'll do like it's DC themed and DC characters are like portals are going to open and DC characters come into the or whatever they do. They find a way of they don't affect the gameplay. It's still a, battle royale, but they do have a story mode, so to speak, or storylines.
Yeah.
Not in a Naughty Dog fashion of a storyline, but in a
you make it. You're given hints of what it was, and you make up the rest of it.
Sure. I'm just wondering, are they going to do something like that with this? But the story won't be like weird, bizarre cross-ins with the Mandalorian just so that they can fit a Mandalorian skin in there and make kids buy it. It'll be tie-ins with the Shinra universe and the Final Fantasy VII universe, which might give further background or context to the Final Fantasy VII remake universe. That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah. I don't know, obviously, because I haven't made the game.
Oh, no, I know. This is all just thinking out loud.
Ponderings
Based on that opening,
cinematic.
What they've called the opening cinematic of the game.
Yeah.
Or it's designed to make me think there's going to be a storyline, so I go and buy it, and it's not.
See, I don't
know.
I think when I was watching, I was leaning more towards that kind of idea. That's like, This is just a nice opening cinematic to watch. It means nothing really because it's setting up what the game is about. That's the story.
Yeah.
And then that's it. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah.
So it's tied into how it's tied into the Final Fantasy universe is just literally Shinra got a bunch of soldiers or a bunch of Shinra guards, put them into virtual reality to fight each other to make the first soldier. And that's how it's tied in.
Yeah.
Rather than that, it's just a battle royale. There's nothing really else. And then, yes, they'll probably have crossover events where they have the Mandalorian skins so kids can buy them.
No, but they might do. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't doubt that there will be skins and things either from within the Final Fantasy VII universe or little winks at the wider Final Fantasy universe, like a lightning skin or something like that you can buy and purchase, because that's how these games get made. They, that's if it's free in the beginning. If it's not free in the beginning, by God, it better be a full game, because you can't sell a full game and then keep selling it. Unless you're Bethesda and you're selling Skyrim, then you can.
Or Capcom at Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will keep buying it.
Oh yeah. It has to be a superb game before you do that.
Yeah.
But that's really it. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think there's not really going to be much else to it. I think it's going to follow the same format as every other every other battle royale. Slap as many cool cinematic intros onto it as much as you want. It's the gameplay is never going to look like it. It's going to be like a Ubisoft Assassin's Creed game. Sorry, no, hold on. It'd be like every Ubisoft game ever.
Sure,
where the cinematic is awesome, and then it's like that's not the gameplay. It's never the gameplay.
Jesus, man, you're brutal.
I am brutal. I don't know. I think out of the three of us, I'm not the most brutal. Adam is.
He's not here to defend himself.
Joking. I know. That's why I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
No,
I'm scared.
He scares me. I think that's then everything then, isn't it? Because it does look good, but I won't get it.
I'll probably give it a go. I'll give it a go
if it's free, or even if it costs money.
It depends on how much it would be.
Okay. So what would be?
And also, like, if there was, depending on, like, if reviews come out and say, for whatever reason, this is fucking amazing, everyone needs to play it, and it's like €10, then I might be like, okay, why are all these reviews so good? Maybe I should get it.
That's actually strangely enough a very expensive mobile game.
Oh, I haven't bought nearly enough.
They're more like €5 at most.
Oh, I mean, that's
Or
not a lot of money for a game.
Actually, though, they could reach about €10 maybe.
Yeah, like that's not a lot of money for a game. It's really not.
I do find it so weird though that it's like with consoles, you goes, oh, like Kena, which is a phenomenal game. That's a beautifully superb, well crafted game. It's like 30-40 euro. Oh, that's so cheap.
Yeah,
Amazing.
40, isn't it? 40.
Yeah. I was like, that's amazingly cheap. And you buy it, you're like, wow, this is amazing. The animations and the lighting and the music is so good. And then you get to like a mobile game, you're like, oh Jesus, €5. That's so steep. Because like
right. Yeah.
Each Infinity Blade was €5, and it did make a lot of people not buy them because it was like, oh my god, it's so much money. It's €5.
I know, yeah.
Interesting.
There comes an expectation, doesn't there? It's like if it's on a console, then it's like it's a big game. But if it's on a mobile, it's like that's only a mobile game. You know, there's like a different outlook on it. It's and maybe that'll change in the future because mobile gaming is going to become. It's already big in some parts of the world, but it's going to become bigger and bigger. Especially,
it's going to be so huge.
Especially with like Xbox's, xCloud streaming and stuff like that.
That's fair.
Onto your mobile.
Are they doing? Am I wrong in thinking that they're doing Game Pass on mobile as well?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so. Game Pass is going to be available everywhere. We're all going to be paying for Game Pass. Sponsored by Game Pass.
Yeah. You want to work your toaster? Well, you got to pay for Game Pass.
I don't know why I'm joking because like I'm I'm getting an Xbox Series X this Christmas and
you're gonna get Game Pass.
I am gonna get Game Pass because why wouldn't I? Because then I get to play a fuckload of games on Christmas morning.
I won't because I'm not a trader.
I clearly want a brand new console so that I can play Gears of War 2.
Oh yeah, good shout.
Yeah, they're all on it.
Hey, dog.
Oh, nice.
Ali's here. I would like to play Gears 5, actually.
That's funny. That has to be pointed out for both visual and audio listeners because you just can't. You can't see the dog.
You can't see her.
But she is there.
She is there.
All
floofy.
Did you notice during the week, Stranger Things Day?
Yeah, I know. I saw a picture of your man.
Your man?
The young chap with the face and the hair.
Mike?
No, not Mike.
Will.
Not Will.
Oh, Dustin.
Dustin. Thank you. I knew that all along. I was testing you. Yeah, I saw a picture of Dustin there. Celebrating Stranger Things Day.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. No, it's just they like announced like titles for the next season, and that is coming out like titles of the episodes. They do that every season so that people can kind of speculate what it might be about. The only title there was 2 titles that actually caught my eye. The rest of them is like, could be anything. It's obviously in the context of whatever this new season is going to be about. One of them was Dear Billy, which I have a feeling is about Max grieving over her brother who spoiler died in the last season. The other one, which is the second last episode of the season, is called Papa. So I'm very interested to see what the development there is going to be. Okay. Because I do remember
Matthew Modine, isn't it? Is always referred to as Papa.
Yeah, and I as far as we're concerned, he died, but then 11 was told that he's alive. But it was by someone that's like you're not sure if you can even trust that person or not. I do have a feeling in some shape or form he's going to come back. But it's like, will it be in the form of, say, just hallucinations or something, for 11, or will it be that he's actually still alive?
I say he is still alive. He's a big actor, good actor. I think the mind messing with 11's mind by being actually real and being Papa could be cool. They could do sort of like not exactly Soviet spy stuff, but way people always implanted those sort of like like what are the numbers, Mason? That thing, like planting
Right.
codes.
Yeah,
So you could
yeah,
be
yeah.
using 11. You could have planted like ideas into Eleven's head, and you can take control of her, and so
Yeah.
she could become the enemy for the 5th season, or
I
the
do
threat.
hope that they set it up that that the 5th season is going to be the last season, and then let that be the last season. Go out with a bang. Happy days, job done. That's what I hope, but we'll see. The other thing, apart from me going through puberty again.
Hey guys, want to play some baseball?
I've been under the weather and getting better, and as soon as I was like, okay, I'm okay enough to do the podcast. My voice is kind of back, and then Adam was sick, so it's like,
and then Adam lost his voice.
Yeah. Winter sucks, but anyway. Last thing that I saw that was of interest, that I think will be of interest to all of us, was they released the synopsis for the Batman during the week.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Not the synopsis as in Jesus. It's not like, oh, here's exactly what happens in the movie.
Oh
More
yeah,
so,
like the way on like IMDb or any of those reviews, it's like Tim wakes up and then he gets out of bed and he goes and like it's like the whole fucking
yeah, no, not like that. And
Okay.
certainly not like the synopsis on the back of the Phantom Menace VHS, which I remember reading going, are you kidding me? It was the worst synopsis I've ever read for anything. It literally said, it was like, in this movie, Obi-Wan, when he was a Padawan, meets Anakin, who will later become Darth Vader. And it's like, why? What if someone doesn't know that? Why are you ruining it? It's like, under the guidance of Palpatine, who will one day become the evil Emperor. It's like, why would you give that away? What if someone doesn't know? Let them be surprised. Anyway, there was one line in particular that stood out to me about this synopsis, and so I thought it'd be a good opportunity for us just to discuss a little something before we finish up.
Okay.
And it was that in this particular version, that Batman, because he's so angry and he's going around, he's taking his anger out on everyone, that he's no better than the serial killer that he hunts. Right? Now,
okay.
That's cool. That's fine. But people have ran with that in like articles and being like, oh, Matt Reeves' Batman is like a serial killer. Right. Which is not exactly the wording that they used, but it's kind of rewording what was used. But it does beg to wonder. We don't know for sure from the trailer, but do you think that this Batman kills? And do you want him to kill?
Okay. If he doesn't kill,
Yeah.
fair enough. It's staying true to the very long-running recent version of Batman who doesn't kill.
Mm-hmm.
It does stay true to that, and that's fair enough. And I would imagine that what they actually meant was more so that he is so brutally violent towards the criminals that he's pretty much no different than the serial killer. Because he might as well kill them. Like, he's giving them concussions and breaking all their like bones that they can't even walk, or you know what I mean? Like, he's making them, turning them into vegetables and stuff like, you know what I mean? Like, that he might as well be killing them because he's just ruining their life.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the way I would have picked that up, which I think would be really cool. But I feel that either way, whichever way they're going, whether he's just brutally physically massacring these people, not in a killing way, but just like ruining their lives, or he is actually just killing them, it'd be a really cool dynamic, because then you could have Alfred be his moral compass. Or you could go for that version in the comics where Alfred, isn't there a version of Alfred who tells Batman or suggests to Batman that he should kill?
I'm sure there is. There's so many versions of.
Yeah, so like they could almost go for, because this Alfred has like a scar and he looks much more brutal, like he looks bigger. That's like Alfred is like teaching Batman, yes, you should kill, and like Gordon or something becomes his moral compass, which is what really builds their friendship. Is that Gordon is kind of teaches Batman that no, they should stand trial and justice, because yes, if you're doing this, you're no different than the man we're hunting. So why shouldn't we hunt you?
Yeah.
Either way, I think it'd be really cool. Really cool tactic. Really cool way. Yeah.
Look at, it certainly won't ruin the fucking movie if he kills, and it won't be the first time Batman is killed on screen, and it won't be the last. And Batman has killed on screen before many times. However, I did read it the way you interpreted it first, which is that he's so violent that he might as well be killing them. And I hope it's that.
Yes.
The
I think
reason
that'd be
I hope
cooler.
it's that, right? I do think it'd be cooler. It's possible that it's not that, given that, you know, the famous line in this particular Batman is "I'm vengeance," and sometimes that would sound like, you know, and Robert Pattinson has said that the way he approached it is that every single fight for me is personal. So that's his. So literally, like, he's like, in every fight, he's picturing Joe Chill.
Yeah.
So every criminal is Joe Chill. So in that sense, like, and you hear the line "I'm vengeance," it could be that he's killing them. But I think, personally, there's something more messed up about him justifying what he's doing because he doesn't kill. So that makes it all okay.
Yes.
When you think about that, that's, for me, what makes Batman a messed up character.
Yeah.
And look, he's fucking obviously ramming Penguin off the road and stuff like that. It could be maybe the approach is that he doesn't care if they die, but he wouldn't like stab someone in the chest or fucking stick a bomb in their mouth and blow them up or something like that, right?
Yeah, kick a guy into
Right.
the grenade, you know.
Yeah,
but they're okay. They're fine.
They're fine. And I'm not actually giving out about that version either. Like, that's its own thing. But I do think that, for me personally, there's actually something very messed up about, and it does genuinely give Batman, in his own head, a justification for everything he does. If he's like, but at least I'm not a murderer.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not.
I
haven't stooped to Joe Chill's level.
Yeah, like, I can
that.
beat up people, torture people, run people off the roads, paralyze people, stun people, like, scare the hell out of people, put people in mental hospitals, beat people up in mental hospitals, but I'm not a murderer.
Yeah.
As if that justifies everything else that he does. For me, that's the great, like, conundrum of the no-kill rule. And I do believe that that's why the Joker finds Batman so funny.
Yeah.
Because he's like, just because you don't kill people, you think everything else you do is fine. That's like the joke of the Batman, like, that you masquerade him like, oh, you're a hero just because you don't kill people. So yeah, I do hope that this version doesn't kill, because I actually think it makes for it gives the Riddler a chance to point out the flaws of Batman.
Yeah.
Of what he does, and Batman not realizing. But we'll see. Maybe other people are reading it right, and Batman is a serial killer who kills criminals. If that's the case, then maybe there's like a big police hunt looking for him too, and, you know, and maybe until the Riddler comes along, the police realize they need to partner with Batman or something, or, you know, we'll see. But it's interesting. I'd love to hear from other people. You know, let us know if do you think that this means Batman in this version kills? Do you expect that Robert Pattinson's Batman is a killer in this movie? And if he is, do you like that idea, or what do you think about it?
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, looking forward to that movie. That movie was great. But that is all the time we have for today. So that was our thoughts on, just a recap, Resident Evil, the Nightmare teaser trailer, I suppose, the gameplay overview of Elden Ring, the opening cinematic to Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, just a brief on season 4 of Stranger Things, and a synopsis line from the Batman movie. And if any of you have any thoughts on any of them, please share. I enjoy getting the notification, seeing it. That's awesome, right? Do also leave a like. Likes are cool. Ring the notification bell and hit that subscribe, because that's so joyful. That's so great to see them. But thank you very much. I've been your host for today, Eric. I was joined, of course, by Chris, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.